Okay, so you want to travel to America. Well, don't worry, in this video we're going to cover everything that you need to know to get to America during COVID. So just a quick bit at the beginning, which I do on all my videos. Everything I mention I will link down below in the description. I'll include all the relevant websites, like I said, anything I mention. I'll also include like a list of suggested testing places, as well as some discount codes for you. Even though this video will work from wherever you're traveling, I am filming this from like a UK point of view, so most of the tests I list below, like the pre-departure tests, they will be from the UK. So if you're not from the UK, don't worry about those. Also, as I always say, things constantly change. I will try my best to keep this video updated. Like, I'll update the description regularly, I'll put updates in when things change, and I'll also pin a comment. So make sure you check those if this video is kind of old. And also, please do your own research, because 1, I might not have time to update this video, 2, I might miss something, and 3, something else might be more relevant to you. So please just do some Googling yourself too, just to double check the rules. Like I said, I will link all the important websites below. So the main website you're going to need to travel to the US is the CDC website. So definitely make sure you're checking that before you travel. As always, feel free to ask any questions you may have. You can comment below. You can follow our Twitter. You could also ask on Instagram. And we now also have a TikTok. So make sure you're following all of those for the latest updates. I'll do my best to respond to any questions you have as best as I can and as quick as I can. And if this video helps you, I would really appreciate it if you could give it a like and a subscribe. And one last piece of like housekeeping. At the moment, in order to enter the US, you must be fully vaccinated. Unless you have an exemption, which I'll put here. So if you apply to one of these things, then you are able to travel to the US. If you don't apply to any of these, then you must be fully vaccinated. So with that, let's get on to the video. So like I said, the first thing that you need is proof that you are vaccinated. They will accept any COVID-19 vaccine approved for emergency use by the World Health Organization or approved by the US Food and Drug Administration. I'll put the link below so you can check if your vaccine is approved. And then to be fully vaccinated, your last dose must have been given a full 14 days before the day you board your flight to the United States. So fully vaccinated, 14 days must have passed. Now at the moment, there is no requirement for a booster. We've seen this from a lot of other countries. They say that if your last dose of the vaccine was longer than 270 days ago, then you can't travel. You would have to have had a booster. Now, the US don't have a requirement for this at the moment, so you do not need a booster. But things can change, and it is possible the US could put this rule in. Like I said, I will do my best if anything changes to update you in the description or in the comments below. But I also advise you to just check on the CDC website to see if anything has changed. So step number 2, you are required to show a negative COVID-19 test result or documentation of recovery from COVID. So all passengers aged 2 years or older with a flight departing to the US from a foreign country are required to show a negative COVID-19 viral test taken no more than 1 day before travel, or documentation of having recovered from COVID-19 in the past 90 days before they board their flight. So if you're taking the test, it can be a PCR or an antigen test, but it has to be taken within 1 day before you depart, which is quite a small window. Since that window is so small, I really recommend you take an antigen test. I recommend these because you generally get your results within only an hour, sometimes even less. And they're also cheaper than PCR tests. If you do choose to take a PCR test, just make sure that you will get your results back in the time needed. If you are from the UK, I will link some pre-departure tests below and with discount codes if they have any and their prices. So when you take the test, there are certain details that must be like displayed on the test certificate. You can't take an NHS test for this reason. So these are all the things here that need to be on the test result. Got it? Okay. So what if you've tested positive in the last 90 days? If so, you don't actually need to take a test, so you can save a little bit of money. So for proof of this, you must provide your positive viral test results and a signed letter from a licensed healthcare provider or a public health official that states you have been cleared for travel according to CDC's travel guidance. So you need two things. You need a result that shows that you tested positive in the last 90 days, and you also need a signed letter from like a health professional that says you're able to travel. So if you're from the UK, I'm pretty sure you can just ask your GP to write a letter and sign it, and that should be good. Just make sure that you do have that positive result and you are still within those 90 days. So step 3, the last step that you need to travel to the US. You're required to provide contact information to your airline before you board. Now, when I last flew to America, which was a few months ago, they did hand the form out to everyone in the queue at the gate. I also found that some airlines had it readily available on their website for you to print out and complete yourself. So I recommend that you check with your airline just to see if you can complete it online. I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that Virgin might have it on their website. There's also an attestation form on the CDC website, which I think is the same thing, but I'm not 100% sure. I will link it below, but it's worth printing it out and completing it if it is the same. Then when they give you the form, you can just be like, oh, I've already completed this, and give them the completed form, then having to stand in a queue and fill it out whilst you're in the queue. You don't have to, but I will link it below just in case. Like I said, most airlines will sort this for you. You might not have to do anything, or they might give you a form at boarding or check-in. So that should be everything. Just remember proof of vaccination, a negative COVID test, and check with your airline about that contact information. I travel to the States very soon in May, so expect an update and a personal experience video then. And like I said at the beginning, if this video did help you, I would really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, stay safe and happy travelling!